No, we had to get Bobby because Deepak Chopra couldn't make it. Oh,
Right.
we're on? Okay.
It was a licensing credentialing thing, I thought.
Yeah. But Deepak's briefed me. Deepak has briefed me, so
he has.
I'm ready.
Okay, because we need a little self-help.
Yes. So. What questions you had for him, you can refer to me, and I think I'm ready to answer them.
Let's back up a little bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Crow's Nest. It is Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central. Do the math wherever else you are if you're outside of Central Time Zone. This week, of course, Jason and I are welcoming back, for the first time in quite a long time, we're actually giving him a second chance to do better than the first time, Bobby Jackson.
We are definitely the show of second chances.
Yes, we are the show of second chances. So, hey, Bobby, how are you doing today?
Marvelously. I'm here to redeem myself.
Really? How much are you going to get for yourself?
Probably not much.
Oh.
Yeah, I get it. I'm a little past my shelf life, I reckon.
By the way, did you guys notice the show title?
No.
It's great.
We got Bobby again. Well, we got Bobby again.
Wow, that's inspired. Who writes those?
Yeah. There was a lot of energy behind that. A lot of enthusiasm.
It's better than.
I don't think it's me or Michael that writes those. I'm just trying to get us off the hook. No.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Could have been an hour of
So again, thanks, Bobby, for joining us. We like to all give each other a hard time. It's the first time Bobby's been on, but it doesn't seem like that just because we've done so many Bones Live 5 updates and Reaper Errant, of course, which, hey, we're squaring off against the Blue Dragon on Friday, right?
Yeah.
So it may
I'm calling it tonight, TPK.
TPK, that's what I was going to say. Will it be our last episode?
I think it's over. Well, we might have an invisible, greased-up gnome survive, but the rest of
with a harp. Flying around with a harp.
That's right.
You better
How can you beat a gnome with a harp flying around a dragon? I mean, good Lord.
Hey, Gene. Gene's joining us today. Oh, did you guys get a chance to watch the new show that's on Reaper Twitch yesterday?
Yes. Beyond the Kit?
Ronda Bender, Beyond the Kit with Ronda Bender. I actually missed it live, but I caught it afterwards.
You missed some great stuff.
Away. I know. I went back. It was great, and
I
want to give a shout out.
Just like this show's much better live.
Oh, it's totally. And however, I felt better that someone else was quite possibly worse at giving a show rundown of the other shows on the air than I was. Do you agree, Jason? I mean, you got to side with your co-host.
Okay, well, if that's the parameters, then yes, I agree.
Bob and Julie are on. Twisted Doma is on, or Twisted Oma, and I always say it wrong. So today we'll be talking to Bobby, of course. I already said that twice. I'm going to continue my work on the Bugbears that Bobby Jackson sculpted. And so here is, and these are ones where this guy, we're still at the last part of the month, I think, for this guy, as the free miniature if you buy $40 worth of stuff, or you can just order him on your own. He's in Bones Black. This is the Bugbear Chieftain, I believe, and he's super awesome figure. He has 3 cohorts that are yet to be released and yet to be even slated for release. But if I keep showing them off, then hopefully Ron will be forced to put him in production and get him released.
Yeah.
So, and we can continue that.
Has Ron sent you the girl?
No. I don't even know if. I think from last time, I don't even know. I don't even think the girl's been printed yet, and then sent off for casting. So.
Such misogynist swine at Reaper.
Again, that was the guest that made that statement, not the host of the show that's broadcast on the Reaper Twitch channel, right, Jason?
Yep. If he paints asks if those are Rugtarki or Bugbear. They're Bugbears. The Rugtarki are a whole different species.
Unless they evolve over
Rugtarki have
time.
scales. Bugbear has
They
fur.
do, and they have vertical pupils. Everybody knows this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's right.
no comment
And
on their
I
genitalia.
believe that Jason is the primary. No, we're not going to talk about the reproductive systems. But Jason was the principal designer of the Rugtarki, whereas I blatantly ripped off Trey Maynor for those Bugbears.
Right.
Well, you got in on that long time
Shamelessly.
Pixlogic subscriber special, and you got that Bugbear button for your ZBrush.
That's right. Off Trey Maynor button. That's the one I use most frequently.
Well, I think we could all use a Trey Maynor button. That's for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what do you have
All
hopping
right.
now, Bobby? What's going on?
Well, I'm on this awesome Twitch show.
Right, I didn't mean like exactly now, but what else is going on? What are you working on? How about that? What are you working on sculpting wise? We don't have to throw such a broad net. We only got an hour.
Yeah.
I did this these two demented hobbits, halflings, for Ron, for the Brine Dread Brine thing.
Yeah.
Brian Wynn.
I didn't get the memo, did you?
Brine Wynn. Yeah,
Brine Wynn,
I did
yeah.
those guys.
Yeah.
And
Dread Mirror
and then
and Brine Wynn.
apparently they're run. Yes, that's what I intended to say. And I had the inn that they run has a cast of characters of ill repute, and he's got me working on a couple of other those guys.
Neat.
A seedy looking dwarf and kind of a gimpy gnome.
So
That
we're
might
kind
be
of
redundant.
giving teasers on upcoming ReaperCon figures. Is that what
My
he
connection
inferred
is
that these
weak
might be?
tonight.
Yeah, you're frozen right now. It's that Alabama internet. Get the squirrels.
it is.
Fire up those squirrels.
Very moved.
Yeah, it's like,
So what is
whatever.
the inn called in Brine Wind?
Just a second, I can look it up for you if you like. Oh, it's Chops. It's Chops.
Okay.
Or
Cool.
perhaps it's Grubs. It's one of the two because the two halflings are Chop and Grub, and the inn is named after one of them. I just can't recall which one they named it after. I think
Tremendous.
Joseph Wolf wrote that, didn't he?
I'm not sure. I didn't get that part of the whole thing.
It was fun to do those two halflings because usually halflings, people, by people I mean Ron, wants kind of happy little cherubic type halflings, and these guys are pretty scrofulous
Real
and
halflings.
demented.
Yeah.
Yeah, creepy little halflings, untrustworthy little.
These are reality halflings.
Yeah, halflings as we would imagine them, not Ron.
All right. Well, Gene is chomping at the bit. He wants you to go over your sculpting workflow. So let's start with the concept art. What's the first thing you do when you get a piece of concept art?
Ridicule it. No,
Okay.
what I do, actually, it's unusual to get concept art more and more these days.
Sure.
So the first thing I do is express gratitude.
Yes.
Then, what I'm trying. Okay, if we're going to talk serious stuff, this is what I've
that's
been
what
doing.
you're here for.
Oh, really? I thought I was just clowning around.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's both. Just a little
Okay.
of both.
We-
Give us a good
then let me
mix of
answer
both.
the question seriously.
Yeah.
What I'm trying
Try
to
at least.
do, I'm trying. Give me a chance.
That's all we ask for is an attempt.
Okay. You can grade me later. I'm doing my best.
Okay.
I hear the bus warming up in the background. I am nervous. Okay. What I try to do is, since, most of my career I used, tangible materials, epoxy putty and polymer clay, I have tried to develop a digital workflow that kind of emulates my workflow from the tangible media days. So, there's a couple of differences. You're not tied to an armature in the same way that you were in the old days, but I still do a work from the general to the specific, block the figure out, make sure all the volumes work, make sure the silhouette is appropriate, corresponds to, Ron's guidance and the art that he may or may not be providing, and make sure the silhouette's right, and then work, then detail the blocked in piece. So I work pretty much like I was working in polymer clay, work from the general
inside
to
out.
the specific. Yes. And more and more I'm replacing what I call tricks, in the little computer tricks. I'm posing things earlier and just sculpting them rather than using cross-axis symmetry. Just using digital brushes to sculpt stuff rather than using digital, computer tricks to create an object. I'll just put a blob of digital clay in there and sculpt it, just like I would with tangible clay. And I think
so.
I remember
the mesh balloon
initially
function has
watching.
been quite handy for that. Oh, sorry, Michael, I ran right over.
Oh, I was just gonna go back and say when Bobby and I've noticed Bobby do this, Jason, you do this. I've seen Gene do this as well. You're sculpting. You'll start off the sculpture with them in the T or the X pose, and then you sculpt everything, and then you can move the arms and everything. You said you started moving their arms in place earlier.
I'm posing earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I pose first now as well.
Why the shift? I mean, it seems to me, because when you say, I asked you initially, well, why are you doing this? I just knocked the camera. Well, so I can get all the details and then move them in place. Is moving the arms or whatever, let's just assume they're the arms that you're moving in place. Why is that? Is that more efficient, or why the change?
It's less efficient to do it earlier. Okay. But I think you get a more sculpted look, it just looks more like a miniature when you print it than a digital sculpt. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to when I have an opportunity to take the amount of time that I would like, I want to sculpt a miniature that if I told you I did that in green putty, you might believe it, That's what I would like to be able to do.
Well, I think you're getting pretty close to your original green style with some of the newer stuff that I've seen anyway.
Well, I think that's the object of my game is to make it, to try to trick people. And sometimes I'm closer than at other times, but that's the intent, is to be able to feasibly say, well, this was sculpted in polymer clay, and then maybe you'll have to do a double take.
Well, Gene's asking all kinds of questions that I don't find them particularly enlightening. He wants to know about for creating base geometry, and do you find anything better for topology and how to do polygon management?
Oh my God.
Gene's mocking us.
I think he's trying to drive the bus from out there, out there in TV land.
Yeah, Gene's mocking us.
Let's put everybody to sleep.
And let's put his questions to bed by saying, start with Z Modeler, big clunky blocks, turn everything into Dynamesh, which is just digital clay, and sculpt it like you'd be sculpting in green stuff or polymer clay. That's the trick.
Hey, Greg.
Well, you mentioned it. Oh, there we go again. Sorry, Michael.
Hey, Aaron. No. I was saying hello to Greg and to Aaron.
Okay.
You can continue, Jason, please.
He's like a social butterfly, this guy. We got a guest on. He wants to say hi to everybody in chat. It's like watching Romper Room back in the day. Anyway.
He's a flirt.
That's the allure of the show.
He's just a flirt.
So with your process, that mesh balloon comes in very handy because we've talked before about how ZBrush was an interesting program until the whole Dynamesh functionality showed up.
Yeah,
at which point
I made it real.
It made it much more like clay. The ability to
made sculpting
Dynamesh a figure
possible. I tried to use ZBrush before they implemented the Dynamesh, and I couldn't make it work. But once they got
I had trouble
the Dynamesh,
too. It turned me off so much I didn't want to even use the program for a long time.
Yeah, Dynamesh is magic clay. It's just like clay. Yeah. If you get, there's a half a dozen brushes that you can use. I mean, that's pretty much, I do almost everything with, 8 brushes, I think it is. I've got line, and I infrequently pull anything else out.
Yeah.
You have the Hobbit brush, the Bugbear brush.
The Treminer rip-off brush.
Treminer, the Troll brush.
Smack Michael brush.
Yeah, don't go any farther, because after that you get into the sub brushes for the various parts.
Yeah,
the
that's
insert
right.
Mesh, whatever.
Smack Michael up, smack Michael down.
There you go. Well, that also is very similar to physical sculpting, the green putty sculpting. We used to remember we used to buy tools or buy things that would make impressions, or just see an interesting tool and try to use it. And most of us have a bucket of tools and could probably boil down to less than 10 that we use all the time. Probably for green putty, probably 6.
Yeah, for sure.
And with
it's really
ZBrush,
the same.
It really helps once you try every tool and sometimes you go back and try a new tool. But it really helps to limit your tool selection a little bit, I've found, as at least for speed reasons. Michael.
Yes, I'd like to bring up a point, and this is to kind of pub the show going forward, not to take any time away from Bobby's appearance.
Here we go.
But since we're talking about traditional sculpting, or the previous than digital sculpting, is Jason and I, and been working with Justin to figure out a format where we're going to do a show maybe once a month or twice a month, where Jason's going to be trying to teach the moron how to sculpt with clay. The moron.
Who's the moron?
Me. That's me, of course.
Okay. I thought it was a different moron.
No. It's really only one moron, and I'm enough of a moron to compensate. So you can't have another moron. That'd be way too high a level of moronness. So anyways, I just wanted to give that pub out because Jason's been working on that hard, and it's something that we might bring in some other sculptors and talking about that, Bobby. I mean, Jason's going to be kind of trying to rehash and flush out of his memory his traditional sculpting skills. Do you remember
That's
the last time you sculpted
news.
something? Yeah. You remember the last time you sculpted anything?
Traditionally?
Yeah.
Not too long ago, not a full figure, but I play with toy soldiers. So I'm always fiddling with them and converting them, and you got to use green. You can't do that digitally. You got to use green stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the reasons we thought we'd do this show, especially Michael being known as a top shelf painter. Because the sculpting, of course, helps with all sorts of stuff when you're doing a miniature, when you're painting a miniature, when you're building a base. So we'll give that a try. I think I'm going to wind up feeling like Sisyphus after a while, pushing the rock up the hill and having it roll back down on me. But we'll see how we'll see how well that works.
Is that because the student is
training
incapable of learning? Is that what you're implying? Is the student is incapable of learning? So you're going to try to push me along, and it's just going to come out as mud?
No. I'm very aware of the rock come rolling back down. That's what I'm worried about.
No, that would be a bust.
Does this working with the handicapped help towards your community service obligation?
Well, I asked you not to cover that stuff.
Okay,
we don't want to get into each other's past here, do we? I mean, how far back are we going to
go? Sorry, I apologize.
Man, geez, there goes the bus. Right? I hear it warming up.
There you go. All right.
So how do you approach, we talked about how you start a miniature from the inside out and you pose it before you do a lot of the details. I've been doing that more and more. I find myself, although I tend to cut a miniature apart where I know that the joints are going to be very early in the process now as well, because of course with ZBrush they just stay in place. I was going to ask you, when I look at your work, I see some amazing everything, amazing animation, amazing faces. But I think the fabric detail that you put in is incredible. The flowing capes, that sort of thing. I really think that makes your work stand out. Is there an approach that you use for that? And speak slowly so I can take notes.
I think, I do have kind of a goofy drapery style that I developed when I was doing it in green stuff and clay. That is kind of this weird cartoon stylized drapery that I like. I mean, it's the kind of it's what I want to play with, and so I've just tried to keep that same thing digitally, and it's a pain in the neck. Doing digital drapery is one of the most difficult tasks to do digitally. There's some things that it's easy to do it in polymer clay and really easy to do it in epoxy putty, but it's very difficult to do it digitally. It's hard to get those crisp, clean edges. It's very difficult to get curves that are consistent.
The draw is
those
real
irregular
difficult.
Silhouette.
Yeah, it is. I think that's one of the bigger challenges, as a matter of fact, especially if you're imparting an emotion while you're also trying to make the thing printable and castable later on.
It's a trick to engineer it.
Yeah.
But that is one of the things I like to do, and I've had to figure out how to make it work digitally, because I mean, I know that a lot of times my drapery doesn't look like real drapery. It just looks like the drapery that I want. It looks like the way I want it to look. I like those forms, those weird cones, and I like that.
Well, Rhonda Bender commented, and by the way, Rhonda Bender has a new show that started yesterday. It runs from 2 to 4 on Mondays on the Reaper Twitch channel. But Rhonda said, if you want to challenge your blending skills, get yourself some Bobby Jackson sculpted robes and cloaks. Now, that could be taken a couple of ways.
Is that the bus?
That's what I'm asking. I mean, it could be quite the compliment, or it could be total bus action. Yeah.
He's actually wearing one of his nice plaid numbers today for the show.
Yeah, I'm going with compliment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
Why not? Yeah.
Have Ron send you drapery for free.
Well, next time you're on, maybe we could have a raffle. Yeah, I'm just looking through here.
All right.
Well, Rhonda really likes the way you do drapery as well. I also find that your faces, I think, used to be really good in green putty, and I think they've actually gotten quite a bit better, which I didn't think was possible. But I've noticed
sorry.
You're spending a lot of time, well, not a lot of time, but a lot of energy is invested in the expressions that you've been adding to your miniatures lately.
Well, one of the advantages of digital is, when you're old and your eyes get worse than they were, you can see. And one of the things that I learned in the transition from traditional media to digital media is that I was not seeing things as well as I thought I was seeing things when I was doing things traditionally. And so with a big magnified screen, it's easier to work finer. And the real trick is not working so fine that you're not sculpting a miniature any longer. You're sculpting something else. So the challenge is reducing the level of detail and caricaturing the figure so that it looks like a miniature when you're doing it digitally. Whereas before, you're working a 1-to-1 scale sculpt. What you see is what you get, and the trick is seeing it. So, by the time when I made the transition, I was using a number 10 Optivisor, and still not seeing things very well.
That's about as high as you can get. So,
yeah.
Unless you start
I talked to my father-in-law is my father-in-law is an optometrist, and I talked to him about magnification, and there was nothing beyond the number 10 Optivisor that unless you win the lottery.
Well, yeah, you start to lose the roundness of the figure too with the higher magnification. You don't get to see as much of the figure, so that leads to further mistakes down the road where you have certain spots that are perfect but they're not if you turn them, for instance. You brought up detail, and we've been fortunate, you and I and most of the Reaper sculptors and a lot of people in our industry that we know have been fortunate to be able to work from some really tip-top concept artists.
That's a fact.
I was wondering how far you go when it comes time to leave off details or change the concept artist pose just a little bit to make it more castable or more readable in 3D. What's your feeling about that when you're doing that?
Probably just a matter of having done it a lot. Is my connection crapped out?
No, I can hear you.
You're still talking. Keep talking.
It's okay. All right, that's Shelby County Internet.
Yeah, most of us aren't here to watch you anyway. We're just here to listen.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, not much to see. Remind me what we were talking about again.
Oh my God.
I asked you about concept art, translating
Scene
into
the detail.
What you leave off,
removing
what you change.
The detail.
Yeah.
Look, don't throw the shiny penny. I get very easily distracted. Okay. I think that's probably a matter of a lot of that has to do with experience, and having done it in a traditional medium is an enormous advantage. When I was a young Padawan and Julie Guthrie took me under her wing and said, here's how to do this, dum-dum. It's one of the skills that she emphasized was what to emphasize in the sculpt and what to ignore, when you're looking at a piece of art. Because if most of the time when you get a piece of art, like if you get a piece of art from Wayne Reynolds, there's a million things going on in that art, and only a tiny fraction of it is going to make it onto the miniature. And so it just takes practice learning what to emphasize and what to de-emphasize. I call it caricaturing.
Yeah.
You learn.
It's not unusual
just like when
for Wayne to put 20 layers of things on his drawings.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And there's no way you can represent 20 layers on a miniature and still have the edges show up.
No, because he's not really, he's not doing concept art. He's doing a finished art piece for some other purpose. But like when you get a piece of work from Izzy, now Izzy knows what she's doing. You can, if you get a two-dimensional
And Wayne
piece of
Reynolds
artwork
does
from
not
Izzy,
know what he's doing, is what Bobby's really saying.
Wayne doesn't
Wayne
do
Reynolds is a
concept art
genius.
as much.
But he's not doing. He's not trying to
He's not a
please
3D
me.
guy.
Izzy,
No, he's not.
no. And when you take a piece of Izzy's concept art, and if you were to imagine turning it in your hand, it's a three-dimensional volume. There's not going to be volumes intersecting one another for the sake of a 2D composition or things like that. Izzy's concept art makes my job very easy. I essentially become, when I get a piece of Izzy concept art, I'm a 3D Xerox machine. It's very easy to work from. Other people,
well, the best miniature concept artists are people that like
about
miniatures, and people that worked around miniatures. And Izzy's done that. She's pulled miniatures from molds and packed miniatures and everything else. So
that's right. Yeah, and Ron pays Izzy to draw concept art for miniatures. Ron does not pay Wayne Reynolds to draw concept art for miniatures. That art has a different purpose.
What's this pay you're talking about? You get paid?
That was a hypothetical.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Well, I don't know about Izzy, but I'm sure Wayne gets paid.
That's probably a safe assumption.
Yeah.
So did we want to look at some of the images that you guys sent over?
Sure. I think that'd be great.
Are these some of my painted figures?
That was fast. That was even faster.
Fast.
I guess we're just teasing that one.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next segment. Oh, man. That's cool.
So this is a collaborative piece that both Jason and Bobby, you guys have worked on, and this is an upcoming Reaper piece. No scheduled date for release yet. Maybe ReaperCon, but maybe not. But yeah, so go for it, guys.
That was a lot of fun.
Well, it was.
I had the easy part, so I'm going to go first. All I did was essentially convert one of the little deep ones that I had done months and months ago, Coral Throne that Jason did from scratch. And then I put a hat on him. So my job was pretty easy. Jason had to suffer over this one.
It wasn't really suffering. I really enjoyed this piece. It was kind of fun to be able to imagine a throne for this piece. We had a little back and forth over the length of his legs and how the legs would bend and how the fact that the seat really isn't that high up off the ground then with such a short lower leg critter. But I'm very anxious to see this one come out. We were trying to capture an evocative underwater type scene, but not underwater. I believe the whole idea of this is this guy's in a cave, right? In a dry cave.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why we have a lot of
super cool.
The sea critters, and the crown. The crown actually looks really good with the throne, I think. And it should be a separate piece. I can't believe that would be one piece. The throne itself is probably 4, and then the 2 little statues. So I would assume the sitting guy is a separate piece.
He's at least one separate piece. He may be 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could put him on one of Andy's tavern chairs if you don't like the throne, I think.
Yeah, the throne's amazing. And the interesting thing is both you guys have very unique styles and different styles. And when you see your pieces individually, I can say, oh yeah, that's Jason's piece or that's a Bobby piece. But I really can't tell that this piece, if you would have just shown me this, I would have had no idea there were 2 sculptors involved. They mesh so well together.
Jason did the bulk of the throne, the little dais and stairs with the little guardian statues, I didn't get. But the bulk of the throne, where it was going to be interacting with my stuff, he sent to me. So I had the opportunity to rip him off like I did Trey with the Bugbears. And so
seems like a theme. Helped. It's a theme for you, isn't it?
I mean, ripping people off, it makes your life easier.
Yeah, we're never really sculpting stuff for the first time. Someone's usually already, walked over that.
I reinvent the wheel.
Sort of, yeah.
Let suckers like Maynard invent the wheel.
When they leave the design up to us, we're going to take the easy way, right?
Yeah, that's an awesome piece. I can't wait for it to come out too. I've called dibs.
Yeah, it's cool. The design of the throne is killer.
Yeah. Did we have other things, or was that the only?
Well, that was the only collaborative piece we've done for a while.
Okay.
I don't know. That's all I sent in.
Okay.
I think the rest of the stuff you have is there on your desk, as a matter of fact. You have Bugbears, but I believe you had a few other things.
I have Bugbears, and I did get previous permission to show something, but I can't show it for very long.
It's a time limited. You have to limit your time that it's on the screen.
You just flash it. Oh, yes. Speaking of ripoffs, that's cool.
This is an upcoming Dark Sword.
Oh my God! Freehanded on the side of that cloak.
Yeah, there's freehand on the side of the cloak.
That
no
is
idea.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is something, and I want to. And then there is the same guy, yet cloak is closed.
That's cool. Show them both together.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Look at that.
Wow, that detail on the back is tremendous, Michael.
So here are they together. They are together. Whatever, English. So yeah, these have been a blast. And
that is great.
And so it's an idea, and we'll talk about it more when we actually have Jim on the show in the next month or so. But I had been I love the old Grenadier stuff, just like Bobby does, just like Jason, and Jim Ludwig just loves the old Grenadier stuff. And so Bobby had been doing all the halflings, and I just pushed him and said, hey, let's be inspired by some old things. Can we do that? Do we want to show the other thing, Bobby?
Which thing?
Did we lose? Is Bobby there? Okay, he's there.
I'm here now.
Figure out what
oh yeah!
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
so the halfling
cool.
sniper scout, and the coolest thing. This is such a great piece back in the day, but Bobby really took it and just really took the original sculpt and then amped it up. But I love his little buddy in the back, the little squirrel.
That is super great.
Yeah, he's super
Those
cool.
were fun.
I can't. Yeah, these are great. You did such a great job on these as well.
Show him again. Show him. Okay. Hold him still. Well, or don't.
Hold him still. There we go.
Yeah. I want to see that. Get the bugbear out of the way. Enough of you, Trey Maynard. Get out.
Is that in focus?
Wow.
That's probably right about there.
Yeah, that is really cool. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
And so I like you did a great job with the squirrel. Who I think there was somebody might have asked you to put a squirrel on the scene. I can't remember who that was, but it's probably somebody on this show.
I don't know. I don't recall.
If you get the right angle, and it's maybe hard to tell from the photo. I mean, from the video. The squirrel you made him in the same line of sight as the sniper. They're both looking at the same quarry, same prey.
That's right.
His little spotter, whispering, "Hey, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the left."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Neither one of them like elves. They're gonna pop them an elf.
How do you know that's not an artillery officer?
Could be. Could be his spotter. I should have given given him a little scope of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's something
Those are
that's
fun
out there.
pieces. They really were.
Yeah, yeah, that's super fun stuff. It's they're yet to be released. We're gonna have Jim Ludwig on the show here. I don't know, next month or so, as soon as I can finish up the other things.
Well, you
There's a
showed us
couple
an
of pieces.
RBJ figure in the green room. I've seen that on Facebook, so I think you could probably show that.
Which one was that?
The future guy.
Oh, Future Guy. Yeah, well, he's just primed.
Oh, the little science fiction guy.
Yeah, and here's a little.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Those are
Now, there's a bunch of those on the way. Isn't that right?
Those are cool. Yeah. And the Rodman brothers just took all of those digital files and remastered everything. They reprinted them with the new printers. They made new master molds for everything. So right now they pulled them down off their website, and when they come back up, they'll be all new files with much better, 21st century technology.
Yeah,
they're fun. Those are cool.
They remind me a little of the Traveler minis from back in the day.
Yeah,
the old Grenadiers. Yeah.
Did he send you of the little lightly armored guys? There's two styles. There's the guys in the kind of the space helmets, and then there's the little light armored guys. I like those little light armored guys. They're like I want to make a Stargrave war band out of the little light armored guys.
Hey, that's a good question.
Yeah, medic.
Is that him? Yeah, he's cool.
See, he's got the little. I call it an autocleister on his left arm there.
Oh.
Yeah.
What games are you currently playing, Bobby?
I haven't played. I want to play some Stargrave. I really do. I haven't had an opportunity to play minis games much in the recent weeks. I've been playing some role-playing stuff, playing D&D with you guys, playing D&D with my kids and my daughter and son-in-law, and my wife has been playing and having fun, but don't tell any of her friends.
Yeah, I was going to say, her friends probably don't watch this channel, though, so...
You never know. They may be closet nerds too.
Yeah. Well, then don't say her name. At least we can preserve.
So I've been playing a lot
of
D&D, pretty much.
Speaking of D&D,
it's a little harder to play the miniature stuff over the internet.
Yeah, but
I know you were playing Frostgrave, Rangers of Shadow Deep.
I love to play Frostgrave. Been playing Rangers of Shadow Deep. I really wish I could get a saga club going here in Alabama. But you got to travel to play that, and with the convention an opportunity to play. It's sad, but
yeah. Well,
I did have my daughter and my son-in-law over, and we ran that. Oh man, I would love to, Greg. That would be so great. I got. My army is complete. I'm ready to go. But alas, all men waxed and ready to roll.
We do not know what that is.
It's been difficult this year to play miniatures games with all of the stupid quarantining business.
Yep. Well, hopefully that's coming to a slow end, maybe. If we're lucky.
I hope so.
I mean, we're gonna be at ReaperCon.
Blow the dust off those guys and. Yeah. Well, maybe we can get some Stargrave going to ReaperCon. I know that those cool science fiction dinosaur guys Chris Lewis did. Those guys have been getting a lot of play in the Stargrave community.
Oh, I imagine those are wonderful. We just saw a Mouseling Stargrave band as well.
Yeah, that's right. Gene's Mouseling guys, really funny. Yeah, it was really funny. Those heavily armored Mouselings. Somebody had them set up as the combat armor guys in their Stargrave warband. It was really cool.
So when you do a sculpture on your own without concept art, what are your inspirations? What do you look for? What do you look through?
Well, I really
What gets you going for those?
anticipate sending that invoice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your
Actually,
So strictly money motivates you, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm being silly. Really good question. I'm not like an art guy. I'm a toy soldier guy. So the thing that I like is I want to make a toy that I would want to play with. So if I'm not given, a lot of guidance, I generally will try to make a toy that I want to play with.
What are some well, you want to make a toy that you want to play with, but for instance, when you played Rangers of Shadow Deep, I know you did some of the miniatures for Rangers of Shadow Deep. Did you look at the background material and find that to be inspiring at all, or did you just go right into your assignments?
Well, for those guys, they were pretty much just lifting the illustrations out of the rule book and saying, do this guy, do that monster, do this guy, do this guy. And so, I would have the artwork was not designed to be miniature concept art, but
right.
I could get a pretty good idea of what the guy had in mind. And oh, look at you demon. See, now those are toys I want to play with. That's
right.
Cool. Wow, those.
When you
fantastic.
said that reminded me.
Yep. We were trying to open the door but
the saddest part about that right there?
Oops, wrong thing.
No chimney.
Go ahead.
No chimney.
Wait, here it is.
What?
Right there.
Why isn't there a chimney on the hall?
Okay.
Oh, there it is. A miracle. A miracle. Ask and ye shall receive.
Right there. Oh, damn it! I will mail it. I will mail it this week. I'm going to mail it to you this week. I keep meaning to.
You know what? Then you know what? The road to hell. Blah blah blah. But I want to. Let's do this. Let's say, oh man, that rocks. That is really cool. Let's do. Oh man, that warms your heart, doesn't it? Little hobbit family about to be devoured by orcs. Let's do this. When I can get that chimney and get it installed,
okay.
Let's go ahead in public on this show say, I want to put that little hobbit family and make a little Kickstarter so that everybody within the sound of my voice will have the opportunity to own their own little cute orc victims.
There we go. Exactly. So that's a super tease right there, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And the little front of the hobbit hole is also a digital file which we can have reproduced as a stretch goal or something like that. So that's my intent, is to make the little hobbit family. There you go. That's it. That's right there. That's a bad print.
Without the bad print hole.
Without the divot. No divot. And a chimney. You need a chimney. Yeah. I love those guys.
There you go.
That's pretty good. That's gonna be a nice little Kickstarter.
Yep.
Those and I have the actual copies that Michael painted, and so they're one of the nerd things my wife lets me display in public. They're sitting right over there on the shelf in our dining room. They're really super cool.
So she actually those were Julie approved.
Yeah, Julie loves those.
But that was awesome. That was before she started playing D&D. So now you've got her on the primrose path. I imagine
she doesn't play a hobbit.
Your house is going to be wall-to-wall miniature shelves.
Wouldn't that be marvelous? But unlikely. She plays a bloodthirsty human warrior named Lars Canute.
Have you sculpted her miniature
Imagine
yet?
That. No.
You should.
Lars will die soon.
You sculpt her miniature and you send it to me and I'll paint it for her. I will paint her a copy that she can play with.
You know what?
Or,
that's a great offer, and I will do that. But it will be an in memoriam.
Oh well,
because
you are.
because
are
all
you
gonna
DMing?
die. Yes,
are
I
you
am.
DMing?
So
Bobby Jackson
make
is
it
quite
look like a statue.
Bobby Jackson is the worst DM to ever play a game with because all he wants to do is kill you at all times. He's hoping, he's praying, he's rolling to kill everybody.
No,
and
in
he's
all the
TPK.
games, I've played with
TPK.
Bobby, he's only managed to kill my character once, if I remember right, with a bunch of logs.
He's wanted
I didn't
to,
look
though.
up.
I try to kill you, but I'm not very good at it. Most people have managed to survive.
So, talking about miniature shelves, I've got a whole shelf of Bobby Jackson stuff in the basement. If I was going to have a complete collection of Bobby Jackson miniatures,
oh Lord,
what is the hardest one for me to get? What is the hardest set for me to get right now?
The stuff that was produced commercially?
Yeah, because I'm not going to get the stuff that you did for private, probably.
Wow, that's very difficult because I've been doing stuff commercially since 1996.
I know.
So there is a lot of crap out there that I'm guilty of.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking back to like the Gwar figures.
Oh, I didn't do those. Drew Williams did all those.
Oh, you didn't do the
Gwar
Gwar figures. That was Drew, right? That was Drew.
Yep. Drew,
but in that era is when I first started to see Bobby Jackson show up on miniature blisters.
You know what would probably be the toughest thing to find right now would be some of the things that I did for the early Wizards of the Coast stuff when we were doing them in metal.
Oh,
I bet you. I don't. Yeah, because
under the chainmail brand and the 25th anniversary stuff. Yeah, it's hard to find.
All of that stuff was. Yeah, it was very low volume production, and they sold through, and then they were gone. Another thing would probably be tough to find would be the what was that game that Raul Partha right there before Fossa bought him?
Crucible?
Crucible, yeah. Some of the stuff I did for Crucible would probably be hard to find.
Is that the stuff that wound up in the WizKids' first plastics?
Vor would probably be hard to find.
Oh gosh, I hadn't even thought about Vor. So that's a long list so far. We're amassing quite a bit of stuff. And you've also done some casting and marketing of your own stuff. I mean, even before Kickstarter, you were selling your own things out of your garage, if I remember right. You had a caster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I have a little spin caster. I used to torment my son and make him cast. But the only thing I ever cast were those ridiculous Thugs figures. Those are the only thing I ever sold. No, I did do... I read that book. But this was years before the Leonardo DiCaprio movie came out, The Gangs of New York.
Uh-huh.
But because I read the book and I just got off on this crazy 19th century kick. I will confess.
Yeah, didn't you call them the Boys or something? BHOYS or something like that.
Yep. Those you can still find those guys. The Virtual Armchair General still sells them, and I did like 50 of them. There's like 50 of these 19th century New York gangsters with the dead rabbits and the plug uglies and the shirt tail gang and all these guys. I did a ton of those guys just for me because I wanted to play with. Yeah. Those were toys I wanted to play with. And never made a nickel off of them. But
some of those would make some good warband figures.
Yeah, they're fun. They were fun. Terrible. Some of them were really pretty sad, but they were still a lot of fun. But that's a long time ago. It's amazing that they're still available.
Well, going back to my shelf, if I'm looking at my shelf of Bobby Jackson miniatures, what would your favorites be on that shelf? Assuming I had the entire catalog.
Wow. I don't know. I tend to get enthusiastic about whatever I'm doing, so I don't have a lot of figures of mine sitting around unless I'm playing with them. They tend to get boxed up and put away and not thought about. So it would be that's a very interesting question.
How about one that left an impression on you, good or bad? How about that?
Oh,
that left an impression. Particularly hard to do or particularly satisfying when you were done?
Well, one of the embarrassing ones is the what is that horrible peasant I did with the pole arm for Reaper? It's like the second miniature I ever did for Reaper, and he is just an abomination. You can still purchase him by.
I thought someone named Johnson Twine did that one.
Yeah, Johnson Twine did that.
No, oh Lord, Johnson Twine did a lot of those things, but no, unfortunately my name.
His work is often seen as like a pale imitation of yours.
Yeah, yes. I finally had to make him stop working. He's left the industry entirely now. Yeah. Johnson Twine. As a matter of fact, he may be dead.
Somebody mentioned in the chat
the 20. To figure that out. If he's not dead, I'd really like to get him on the show.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh wow. Yeah, we would. That would be an interesting interview of Johnson Twine. You'd have to. That might be a PG-13 interview. If you could, if you can find him sober, that would be the trick.
That's true.
Well, you mentioned some miniatures that are probably. You mentioned miniatures that are probably hard to find. This was one of the 25th anniversary miniatures that Bobby, you sculpted this, right?
I did.
Yeah.
They never re-released her, did they?
No. This guy made it into Bones Black, and he was not available until February for Bones Black. This was one of my favorites.
That is a great miniature. Yeah.
One of my favorite, Bobby. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
On the Stargrave forum, back to my nerdiness. On the Stargrave forum, somebody replaced that casting hand and put a pistol in it, and it's a member of his Stargrave warband. It's great.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for
that's another one. That's a sub collection of Bobby's miniatures, the ones that you don't want to step on. So there's two I can think of: that wizard, and then the little Neanderthal guy with the spear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the crouching caveman, Ron. That's the best caveman. That's the best caveman.
Caltrop the caveman, I think we called him.
Caltrop the caveman. That's probably the best caveman ever, and Ron hated him.
So one of my favorite Bobby sculpts.
Okay.
So one of my favorite Bobby sculpts is this wizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
was when I was learning how to use polymer clay. That was one of my first polymer clay sculpts.
Yeah, he's fantastic with all the books. He reminds me of, and maybe this was intentional or not, the kind of inspired by the old Confrontation Rackham game. That I could have seen him fitting into that miniature line pretty easily. But little fantastic piece. I love that piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, a little bit of Terry Pratchett in there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Ron just kind of let me make that one up and do whatever I wanted to do, and so I just kind of had fun with him. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. What? I gotta remember the name of that stupid peasant. I'm gonna have to look it up on the website.
Oswaldo was the guy with all the stuff, right?
Yeah, the overladen.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of him. Michael, what's your favorite Bobby Jackson miniature that you've painted? The guy you just showed?
I would say, yes, he's definitely my favorites. He was one that did he get put into metal? I think he was a Bones figure or vice versa. I really wanted to have him released in either Bones or metal, whatever. So I painted up and bribed Ron to release him in the next version. And I would give it to him. I just gave him that painted version because he was so cool. Wow. That's really a hard one. The ones that I was most excited about, and this is going back a little bit and then kind of ties into your guys' collaboration, is when Bobby redid the deep ones. And he's done a bunch of deep ones since. I just thought those were fun. I remember the deep ones back in the day, the old Grenadier deep ones, and I always thought that those were some of my favorite miniatures from back in the day. And then when Bobby reimagined them and released, I was like, yeah, those are great. And to see those, I'd like to even see even more after the throne.
Those were fun.
Yeah, those are just great fun figures. I like the beasties, and Bobby's trolls. We won't make any reference to.
Those were fun.
Yeah, this one's cool. I'd like to get the whole set at some point, and paint them all together.
Those were a lot of fun. That's another one where Ron just kind of let me do what I wanted to do, and I had a great time doing those guys. But the figures, you said what are my favorites? I think the ones that are right now I'm most excited about are those henchmen and henchwomen. I had so much fun doing those guys.
The Bones 5 ones?
Yeah. Ron just kind of let me do whatever the heck I wanted to do with those, and just kind of imagine low-level hirelings for a D&D adventuring party. And boy, I had a great time. Every one of those was so much fun. I can't wait to get my hands on physical copies.
They love the swimming troll. That is one of the
swimming troll is great.
That's fun.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fun. All right, are we going to get to talk about Minwax?
Yeah. I think we've got just enough time.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us today. It was a great show.
Well, hang on 1 second.
Now.
I have a little segue. Bobby's going to be teaching a Minwax class. I don't know if you can call it a painting class because it's more of a dipping class. Bobby's going to be teaching this dipping class at ReaperCon. So if you want to know how a true master of Minwax approaches a painted piece, and then dips it to make it even better,
so
sign up for Bobby's class.
Yeah, let me set up the class a little bit better. If you've painted the best miniature you've ever painted, and you're so proud of that miniature and you really want to screw it up, take Bobby's class, and he'll show you how. Is that right? Is that okay, Bobby?
No, that would not be the way I would pitch that. Here's a better pitch. Let's say, for instance, you just got a Bones Kickstarter and you have literally pounds of miniatures that need painting. You need my class. I can paint hundreds of miniatures in a weekend. That's right.
So, well, we got a minute. How do you paint all those miniatures in a weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Minwax is your finishing step.
Minwax Tutor 360. That's the key. Google it.
That's the shade.
Minwax Tutor 360. That's right.
You ever use
get
any
about
other
half a
shades of
dozen
Minwax?
pastel Reaper. No, Tutor 360 is the one. That's the And those James Wapple El Cheapo Hobby Lobby brushes.
Yep.
That's the way to go.
Okay. And what will be different from your 2019 class as opposed to your 2021? Have you added any new content?
I would say the primary difference is going to be the attendees. I imagine there'll be a different group of people.
Yeah, I don't know how many people will come back for a second scoop of that.
Right.
No. Once you've got it, there's no need to ever come back. You're already a master. It takes about 45 minutes. You're a master.
I think the whole deconstructionist approach to painting is something worth approaching. You start out with pastel colors and dip.
You know what?
That's what you're saying.
If you want to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and days and weeks and months, and at the end you have one miniature, well, there's a way to go about that. But if you want to spend a weekend and have hundreds of painted miniatures, also a way to go about that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, here's a big softball for you. Favorite Reaper paint color?
Meadow green.
Yep.
And that's not just a silly joke. That's a very important thing, because I do paint hundreds and hundreds of miniatures. Well, dip, to be technical. I do dip hundreds of miniatures.
Well, dip is the finishing step. You have to use a brush to get that paint on there to start with.
Yeah, but that's literally 3, 4, 5 pastel colors, and then you dip it. But the caveat is, I'm old school. All my bases are painted green. And the green that I had selected to paint all my bases was meadow green. And then that demon Hawkins canceled it. And I was going to have, armies that I was I don't want to have two-tone bases in my armies. I want them nice and uniform. And
but then you promoted the most extensive grassroots campaign ever seen for a miniature paint. I've never seen anything like that. It was a year of promotion, of dropping meadow green into conversations. Every time you turned around, it was all over the net.
Everybody wants to know what that blinking light on Ron's phone was. It was me complaining about meadow green.
Whining. Right. It was a whining. He's
still probably listening to the messages. It's taking him that long just to catch up.
Yeah, but it worked. Yes. You beat him. You beat him down.
I got my way.
Submission.
I beat him
down.
Ronda
thought maybe you liked Bender Brown. Ronda thought maybe you liked Bender Brown as well. Well, there you go.
I love Bender Brown.
It's good to get
It's the best brown.
Ronda's show is on, of course, Mondays on the Reaper Network.
2 to 4 Central.
2 to 4.
2 to 4
Central time.
Beyond the kit. Ronda Bender.
Beyond the kit. What will she
one of the best teachers in the business.
Week? Oh, I would say top 5.
That is one of the best top 5. I would think those are similar.
Yeah, they are.
You can't ever say the best because then someone's going to get their nose out of joint. So, but we know.
But definitely top 5. Definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top 5 stream. Even though she's only had one show.
I missed it. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Did she do it from a hot tub?
She did. She was in a hot tub the whole time.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right.
That's super cool.
Note,
I knew I would invoke the demon Justin with the hot tub reference.
Should we clarify? Reaper has 0 hot tub streams planned.
Oh.
Darn.
That's the new wave.
You were deceiving me.
We're pretty sure Bobby's sitting in his tub half the time when we're playing D&D.
Right.
I would. If I had a hot tub, I would.
When he's not locked in the pantry.
That's true. He's not in the pantry.
So let's do in the last few minutes that we have.
Dirt bags.
We have a few minutes left. I want to pub the most important show on Reaper Twitch, and that's Reaper Errant, that will be airing yet again on this Friday at 5 p.m. Central. 6 p.m. Central.
No.
6.
Yeah, it's 6. It's 5. Yeah, 6 p.m. Central.
It's 6
p.m. Central.
It's 6. Yeah.
It's 6 to generally about 8-ish, 9-ish o'clock. Depends on how the campaign is going. It is run by the great...
We're going down. TPK.
That quite possibly might happen due to a certain player who likes to roll ones. That those two stealthers
I
were
would
stealthing
attribute
up.
it more to blue dragons.
Well, the blue dragon is going to eat our lunch, literally, and everything else.
Yeah.
I think
well,
the
let's
bard's
hope
going to
not-
charm it. I think that was the plan.
Yeah.
Who
The
is
bard better get that. The bard.
He's got that harp of dragon charming.
Pugh.
Yeah. I think
so.
The harp. That's a harp of Nomascape.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so it's a D&D campaign for those that don't already know, that we've pubbed it a million times on this show, but I wanted to give a big shout out to Frank from Nightheart Gaming that always puts on the best campaigns with the best terrain and actually play. I love it because we get to play D&D with miniatures and with
super fun
scenery and have story, but to play it with miniatures has always been my dream. I really like that to incorporate. And he likes to use baddies that are Reaper baddies, and a lot of times they're sculpted by the folks that are gonna get munched down by them. So it's always fun.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason.
So
Jason.
join us.
What?
Yeah.
Jason.
He sculpts.
Jason.
Yeah.
Can't wait till he gets his hands on those Bones 5. Well, I'll be in trouble.
Well, we got the music ramping up. Hey, Bobby, what do you got to pub? What do you got to talk about? Anything to promote? Anything?
Upcoming The Hobbit Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And the Minwax class.
And the Minwax
class. We'll do that Kickstarter. And the Minwax class. This has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot more fun than I thought it would be, frankly.
You know, you did a lot better than we expected too. So it was
you were a better guest than we thought you'd be. So we're all happy.
Wow, it's a win-win, as they say.
It's a win-win. So
thank God for low expectations, is what I say. Right. I mean,
I know.
You keep them low like that, then you can't help but be pleasantly surprised.
Join us next week for another kick-ass show with another kick-ass guest. We would reveal the name, but we want to keep it a secret for now. And that shouldn't be perceived as we don't know who that person is going to be, because we might not, but we'll see. But this was our first attempt at a deep dive with a professional sculptor. I think we'll be able to improve going forward with that path. Yes, Mr. Jackson. In the top right corner.
Can we put the graphic up? And I want you to put the graphic up and you go through the schedule of broadcasts. That's already amusing and pathetic.
You know, we were going to start having our guests do that. I think our guests should do it.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Well, hey, so let's do the rundown of the shows. Justin, do you have that available?
Let me grab the updated graphic in just 1 second. I have it right here.
As long as we can have the
hang on, I got to get a drink. Hey, just stop for a minute. This is going to be a half-hour nonsense.
Hang on. It's not going to take that long, especially if I have the graphic. I'm going to start without the graphic. That's how confident I am.
I was about to say, you should, at this point, Michael, you should
This is my favorite part of the show.
So,
start Sunday evening.
Monday through
Sunday
Friday.
evening.
There's nothing on Sundays. No, that's a day of rest, relaxation, and reflection.
Right, but you have to say there's nothing on Sunday to kind of set the tone for how much we have the rest of the week.
So Sunday is a black zone. Just death.
Dead zone.
There's nothing.
Dead Sunday.
It's a void. It's a total void. Then Monday comes around. Oh my God, it's refreshing. We have Twitch shows, and I'm vamping to try to wait for the damn schedule to pop up. You think our producer would have that on hotkey, but I guess not. So Monday.
You have it on your little iPad there, pal.
Different file locations, actually. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that would be, but a computer, and that's what you're proficient in is computer stuff, right?
Well, no. We surprised him.
Oh.
He didn't think we were going to do it this time.
Because we never do it ever, right?
No, we never. We
not
never
well.
The shows on this show.
All right, Monday through Friday is Anne with Reaper Pro Tips. That's the name of the show, I believe. Reaper Pro Tips with Ann Forrester.
Correct.
And she does it Monday through Friday. Her start time is 11:30 Central Time. Is that right? 10:30 Central Time. 10:30.
No,
it's 10:30.
11:30 Central Time.
11:30 Central Time. And that would make it 10:30 Mountain Time. That's why I thought it was 10:30. So 11:30 Central Time. Ann Forrester, painting big. She's got her own streaming going on. She's got her own Patreon as well. Check her show out. It's great. New show starting yesterday on Mondays. Primetime slot that Miss Ronda Bender is filling in from 2 to 4 Central Time. 2 to 4. 2 full hours. Justin doesn't even let us go 2 hours. I don't know why he lets Ronda go 2 hours, but he's ready to mail it in with us right now, and we're dragging it out.
She has actual usable material.
Oh my God, we have such great
material. And relays it
material.
in a concise fashion.
I have somebody that sends me emails that says that they really appreciate this show. At least it's one person, but that's a start. It's a start. All right.
Well, I'm going to quit.
on Tuesdays. And again, 11:30 Central Time. And then The Crow's Nest with me and Jason Weavy, but you guys know that because you're already here with fabulous guests and me hacking around, slapping paint around and never getting anything accomplished. Wednesdays, and again, there we go, finally. Wednesdays at 11:30, and again, she's on every single day. And then Miniatures Den with Luca Vincenzo Celeste. I'm probably saying it wrong. Italian painter. I like his stuff. I think it's really cool. If you like that European style, that's Luca. He does great stuff. Thursday again. And then The Crafty Creative with Josh Foreman. We had him on a few shows ago. Great guy. He's got a lot of things going on.
Very interesting show.
Yeah, check it out. He does some really neat stuff. Kind of a different take than what the other shows are, which is awesome. And then the little known show is Reaper Live. That's on at 6 p.m. Central Time. It's almost too easy with this graphic. Almost like I can't screw it up. And then Friday. And you got the graphic for this week. It says there's multiple graphics that change per week.
Correct. Yes.
So next week when I'm talking about this, there will be a different graphic.
It's always Thanksgiving though. I think that's my favorite part. Because we're always giving thanks for Reaper Twitch TV.
You know, one thing that I didn't touch on, just to make this whole thing draw out even further, is the excellent artwork that Gene Van Horn did for Ronda's show. So on this,
it's really neat.
Gene's done 2 of the show's artwork.
Yeah,
our show
almost.
I know, right? Anyway, so Reaper Live.
Cool.
So Friday. And again, Reaper Land with Brother Dave and John. That's a fun, goofy show. Check that out. It's 3 p.m. Central, and that's great. And then the best show on Reaper Twitch is Reaper Errant. Come watch us TPK'd out to a blue dragon on this Friday. And then Saturday is Sadie doing Painting Platinum, but I believe that show is short-lived for Saturday and maybe moving back to the middle of the week or to the weekday. Is that correct, Justin?
It is going to be moving. We're just not sure where and when yet. Sadie and I are working on all the details. So.
Oh, cool. Who did
the graphic for her?
Sorry?
Who did the graphic there? The little thumbnail for her?
I believe
calendar slot.
I had that done when she started, way back when Painting Platinum first started, which was over a year ago. But we had it done off of Fiverr, I believe, because the plan was for her to use her own personal brand as well.
Well, I like that one, but the most of the stuff you need to bully Gene into replacing it, would be my opinion.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm pretty sure Sadie doesn't like that graphic very much.
Yeah, so Gene,
you should bully Gene.
You should bully Gene into that. And
bully
Gene says
that. The little treasure chest thing, Gene could replace that and make it look really cool.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. We should
Ron-
be mean
Ron
to
did
Gene
that
until
one.
he complies.
That would
Ron
that
did that
oh
Ron?
well
treasure
it
chest,
shows.
yes.
Oh, no
for
wonder
hands,
it's
yeah.
lame. No wonder it's
Listen,
weak.
See,
Listen,
I like
that's-
Bobby on the
he
show
didn't-
because he drives
Ron
the bus
didn't
over
draw
Ron
that.
more
I've,
than anyone
I've
else.
seen
so,
Ron's
yeah.
drawing. I've worked from Ron's concept art. That's not Ron's
Jason,
concept.
not Jason.
Oh, yes.
Gene,
Uh-huh.
by the way, if you're listening, you
Uh-huh.
are more than welcome to redraw any of these show graphics. More than welcome. So,
Hey, Jason, didn't you
Entirely
have
too polite.
Jason on your notepad? Didn't you have a Ron concept art that you were showing Bobby
I
at the
did
beginning
pretty
of the show
close.
before we
Yeah, it
started?
didn't show up very well
Yeah.
on the camera.
Okay, do you
Yeah.
want to show it again for everybody so you can
No,
they
but
can see
I
No.
think
what?
when we have Ron on, I'm going to dig out that werebear concept art I worked on. That one time. I nailed it.
We need werebear T-shirts.
Yeah,
That's
Right.
what we need is wear T-shirts.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and we're all safe here because Ron
Gene,
never watches the
help,
show, so,
Gene.
so we're all
Gene,
good.
help us, please.
Yeah. Anyways,
All right.
Yeah.
so that's the
On that
rundown
note-
of the show.
Yes.
Justin, thanks for producing the show.
Hey, before
You're
we
the best
go-
producer we've
before
ever
we-
had.
Before we go,
Yeah.
I found the figure. It's
Oh,
it's Frederick Wilhelm.
That is a pile, isn't
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's mortifying.
that's great.
It is mortifying.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. So go take a gander at that catastrophe. Whew.
yeah.
Still
would-
in production. Still
Maybe you
in
could put a
production.
guitar
If
on
you
that
got a
guy.
spare. Oh, you need to put a hammer on that guy.
Hey, so for anybody listening who wants to buy that figure, paint it up, and bring it to ReaperCon and enter it, Bobby will give you a special award.
Yeah, a hammer. You'll get a hammer. That figure is awful.
Hey, what's the skew, Bobby?
Kind of
So we
figure
can-
you
we
might
can tell
find in a
everybody.
dragon's lair, you know, that the guy might just be laying there, a
Uh,
pile of offal.
it's 02249.
Oh my God, that's old. 022.
So is
Yeah,
that
it's
the only
super
one you
old.
get a royalty for, Bobby? Is that why you're pushing it?
Yeah, I do. I get a royalty for that, and you know how much I've made off of him?
7.
Zero.
Oh, I thought you made 7.
Zero. No, I
How
got
is that
nothing.
even still in the
Because-
catalog? How has that not been canceled?
Because Ron torments me with it. It's only in the catalog so Ron can abuse me.
When I think of the things that have been canceled, and there's still that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think,
Like-
every year or two they cast up a few and it'll sit around and then it goes back in the
Uh-huh.
pot. I don't think they've ever
So you
actually
really
sold
think
one.
they cast new ones every year? Or do you
Well,
think
that's
the
what
original
Ron
ones are
says.
probably still lead? I think they're probably all still lead.
Oh, embarrassing.
They still got bits
Yeah, I
of
think
chewing
they cast
tobacco
them up,
on
and then Ron buys them, so
it-
it looks like somebody's
it might
purchasing
be-
them. And
It might be fun to dadgummit.
did you lose your train of thought again, Grandpa?
No, I lost my bandwidth. It might be fun when this stupid gnome gets killed to roll up a new character and use him as my miniature.
That'd be good.
That would be amusing. Yeah.
If we ever
That'd
have
be
to
fun.
create new characters, I'm going to play
Well,
a paladin.
you're a high enough level, you could probably get some hirelings now.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Frederick
It is a good
Wilhelm is
idea.
my hireling for my gnome. Yeah. I could get,
You could put
customize
the gnome
miniature, put a
harness
little,
on him.
Yep. And a pot
the
of
gnome
gnome
harness
grease.
All right, Justin's got to go. He's been trying to wrap it up forever. I can
Yeah.
hear him sighing over and over.
That's not
You
me.
can
That's
hear him?
Jason.
It's not me.
Yeah. No.
Thank you again for
It's
everyone
Justin.
coming out.
My
of
neighbor's
course,
on
as
his
always.
leaf blower. Maybe that's what you hear.
That's that too.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Bobby.
Yeah.
I think,
My pleasure. This has been a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
Yeah. And again,
agreed.
you were tons better than we expected. So again,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
The
thanks
theme
for
of the
not
show
sucking
is
as
a
bad as you did
win-win.
last time.
Have
It's
a
a
great night,
win-win.
everyone.
Lord.
We are going to be
could
rating
only-
a pool stream, but the best pool stream in the category. All right. Brought to you by.
Is it
thank
Bender?
you.
Bender in a hot tub?
No, it's not. It's not Ronda in a hot tub. I'm sorry, Ronda. But it is. Pendrake did suggest it, so it's great.
Oh.
We're gonna be raiding the
around.
Marine Mammal Rescue. It's a bunch of sea otters.
Oh.
So now we got someone to blame.
Oh.
Well, this is fantastic. Go check out the sea otters.
Do they sculpt or do they paint?
They do nothing. They just exist as great sea otters. Thank you,
I thought
everyone.
You can teach them how to paint. Isn't that what they do with them when they wash them off?
Have a great
with the
night.
dish
Before I
soap?
shut Jason's
Don't they teach
mic
them how to
off.
paint?
Everybody, thanks
Wave
for
good.
watching. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks for the 64 people still sticking around.
Bye-bye.
Bobby, yeah, later. See you next week.
I told you
See
we
you
should have
guys.
gotten Deepak Chopra.